Matty, smiling face?
Yeah, obviously really pleased with the performance. I acknowledge how Anthony must feel because I was there a couple of weeks ago. So also acknowledge the opposition that we played. Had a fair bit of disruption coming into this game. So, while obviously very happy, not getting carried away with it.
How do you explain that turnaround in a fortnight? I mean, it's massive.
I think that one probably better directed at Simon because it was really about attitude and our mindset, and the players have largely addressed it. It hasn't really been a coach thing. The players have done a fantastic job in the way they've prepared for the last two games.
Matt, I know you're talking about Brisbane's outs tonight, but the quality of some of the tries you guys put together, that shouldn't take the gloss off that because it was some terrific footy, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we need to make sure we deliver that on a consistent basis. I'm supremely confident that we can test any side. What we've got to do is, again, do that over a long period of time. We've still got some stuff to work on, and we conceded some tries after working really hard for 5 plays. And you don't want to do that. I just let them in on play one, is work your backside off for 5 plays and concede tries. So we've got some things to work on, but I'm acknowledging what you're saying. I'm obviously trying to play it down just a touch.
Have you got a theory about why some of these very high score lines? I mean, teams that are supposed to be evenly balanced, we're getting these blowout scores.
Footy's so tough these days. I'm glad I don't play anymore. I wasn't very good when I did it, but we measure how fast they run and how far they run. If you can dominate possession for a little bit, and you've got slightly disrupted lineups and combinations and inexperienced players out there, it's an extremely tough thing that these players have been asked to do. So you're going to see that occasionally, I reckon.
Simon, was there one specific thing that you guys get together to just turn it all around for you guys?
After that
Penrith.
I guess from the group it felt that the Penrith game sort of came out of the blue. It wasn't like it was something there for a while. We were losing games but very close, and there was a lot of effort there, and then against Penrith, that sort of all that effort went out the window, and it was sort of out of the blue. And, we got back to, I guess, working hard, but then also finishing games a lot better. Last 2 weeks we've got the result, which is nice, and then hopefully we can carry on that.
Obviously acknowledging what Matt just said too, Simon, but does that make you kind of excited? You've got that kind of electricity and energy in your football, you've still got half the season.
Yeah, I guess there's still a long way to go. We haven't done ourselves any favours in the first half of the season, so hopefully, like I said, we can carry on from these 2 performances and string a few together, because that's what we're going to have to do. And improve our game each week. There's still a lot of things we can get better at, and mainly just concentrate on our own game, and hopefully we can build nicely into the new year.
Maybe encouraged by Conrad's comeback?
Yeah. I think when you have a scoreline like that, everyone contributes to it, and Connor's contribution was an important one. And asked him to defend one closer in, and I thought he did a pretty good job of that. So yeah, he's a handful. We know he's going to be a handful, but again, he's a developing first grader.
So a lot of people probably think the hardest thing there is producing that sort of form on the football field, but I guess you guys are already thinking about reproducing it. That's going to be the tough part.
Yeah, for sure. And we've got a tough one against Manly next Sunday. Well, this Sunday, a short turnaround. So I think it's going to be a completely different, game on Sunday, and we'll have to get a few areas fixed up and work on like what Matty said with defending. 5 tackles and then the try at the end. So it's going to be another challenge, another one we're going to have to be up for.
Matt, there's going to be a lot of talk now about State of Origin, standalone weekends. Considering their distraction, your relative lack of, do you have an opinion on that? Are you happy with where it stands at the moment?
We have our fair share of distractions. We do a fair bit of travelling, mate, and the players are better at it than me at the moment. So I understand that, and I'm excited by it. Being a Queenslander, I get to be a fan 3 games a year, and it's just awesome. But as far as impacting upon what we do, if we allow it to be, like tonight, if we allowed it to be a distraction, we would have missed but they've got a lot of guys who played tonight with Origin experience and international experience. So those results sometimes it seems like it's a massive gulf between two teams, but they can turn around pretty quickly, as we've proven.
Can you explain the feeling that you would have had inside, sitting up there halfway through that second half? You knew that this team were getting near the standard that you always had the confidence that they were able to display.
I'll be honest with you, mate, I was so nervous today for some reason. I rarely get nervous, but I guess we had the most to lose. Of course, you'll understand, you've played a lot of footy. I was just so happy for the players. The last couple of weeks have been really challenging for them and the beginning of the season. So there's nothing like, a quality performance to reinforce, what you're capable of. You can talk about it and you can show them everything on in certain games where they are producing it, but for them to actually, for that to manifest on the field, I'm most happy for the players.
They've shown themselves now that they're quite capable of that.
Well, again, the thing is to back it up at a higher level, and again, if you get distracted by the result, I did some research, mate, and there's been 21 teams in the NRL dusted by 50 points in the last 5 years. Half of them, so I think I'm going to ball the 13 of those have won the following week, so over 50%, but only 3 have won the next week, and only 1 of them away. So, like if you're a betting man, because trends in the NRL are real trends because it's a tough comp, it's so close. So we basically were the second team to do it in 5 years. So, it was always going to be a massive challenge for it to overcome it like this. That's got to be reinforcement that we can do exactly what you're saying. We've got to string them together, but the team we're playing next week's a fair team. One I've got a huge amount of respect for. I love the way they play. It's going to be a tough game.
Did you regret looking that stat up when you got it?
We used it.
You used it, told the guys?
Absolutely, I used it all week. Well, we had the opportunity to do something extraordinary. If you do what half the teams do, that's not extraordinary. If you do what 5% of teams have pulled off, you start to put yourself in that bracket. And, I must admit, last week after obviously the Penrith week, I felt massive relief after the Newcastle game. So sometimes if the coaches feel in that way, players can feel that way, but I thought that the way we prepared this week and their attitude at preparation was pretty special.
Now, you've been in a similar position, as you say, recently. What would your advice to the Broncos be in terms of turning it around?
I'm not equipped to do that. When you have 4 high-quality players out of your team like they do, I think they've got it covered. They're a good footy team. I'm sure Anthony will dig out some crap stats like I just did to inspire his team. He's a good coach, and I think anyone who can tell that team's... we didn't come here without any trepidation, let me tell you. So they get all their personnel back, and it's hard, as I said, it's hard for young guys to play NRL footy because it's really tough.